Let's party.
Nice choice.
The new DC film Blue Beetle brings an ensemble of captivating characters into the DC universe, including the talented Xolo Maridueña. Nestled within the concluding chapters of the DCEU saga, Blue Beetle shines a spotlight on a fresh, youthful DC champion, further enriching the realm's cinematic tapestry. While the DC Extended Universe has already woven tales around iconic figures like Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, and the revered Justice League, it now turns its lens to a younger, yet equally recognizable hero making his grand entrance into the live-action arena. Adapted from the pages of DC Comics, the film's narrative orbits around Jaime Reyes, a college-going teenager who embarks on an extraordinary journey after stumbling upon a mystical artifact known as the Scarab. This serendipitous encounter results in an extraordinary fusion as the Scarab's legacy intertwines with his very being, endowing him with an invulnerable superhero suit. Although the story unfolds in contemporary times, the roots of this technologically advanced suit trace back through the annals of history, having been wielded by preceding heroes. Nestled within the DC cinematic slate of 2023, Blue Beetle is firmly rooted within the DC Extended Universe tapestry, while offering an independent narrative that introduces a budding hero and his ensemble of supporting characters. Just as the Scarab merges with Jaime, this film seamlessly melds established performers with rising stars, creating a harmonious ensemble that promises an engaging and immersive experience for audiences. So with that being said, let's explore every character that has appeared in the new Blue Beetle movie. But before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us it means a lot. Thank you, and let's begin.
I can create.
Yeah, that's more like it.
Jaime Reyes, aka the Blue Beetle and Kajida. As a newcomer to the world of crime fighting, Jaime Reyes was only a college student from Edge Keys whose journey takes an exhilarating turn when he joins the cleaning crew at Victoria Cord's house alongside his sister and meets Jenny Cord when Victoria's goon was trying to threaten her. In order to repay Jaime's kindness, Jenny calls him over to the Cord Industries the next day in lieu of a job, but instead handed him over the stolen Scarab and asked him to guard it with his life. Ironically, Jaime activates the ancient relic upon touching it, leading the Scarab to burn off the clothes of its body and bestows him with a cutting-edge suit. This high-tech marvel becomes his ticket to stepping into the shoes of a hero and dealing with everything that his life throws at him. As Blue Beetle, Jaime merged with Kajida to unlock the suit's full potential and power up against Carapax, the film's antagonist. Another important thing to note is Jaime's character is deeply attached to his family, and hence in the face of every adversity, it is the love of his family that boosts his morale, while Kajida keeps him humbled when he is flying too high. Now, Kajida is no ordinary entity. This infiltrator Scarab forms an unbreakable bond with Jaime Reyes, endowing him with the remarkable abilities of Blue Beetle. If you will, envision her as the DCEU's response to the ingenious Jarvis from Iron Man in the MCU. The relationship that Jaime shares with Kajida is effortless, and after their symbiotic merge is complete, they are in the perfect sync, with each of them being able to feel and read each other's thoughts and feelings. In the film, the voice of Kajida was brought to life by American sensation Becky G, also known by her birth name Rebecca Marie Gomez, in a purely vocal rendition. Now in the rich tapestry of DC Comics, Jaime Reyes becomes the third individual to embrace the identity of Blue Beetle, following the legacy of Dan Garrett and Ted Kord. Notably, he finds his place as a vital member of the esteemed DC superhero collective, the Teen Titans, further solidifying his presence in the expansive DC universe. Bringing this captivating character to life in the eagerly anticipated 2023 live-action DC film is none other than Xolo Maridueña, celebrated for his role in Cobra Kai. Maridueña, who admirably portrays Miguel Diaz in the Netflix revival of the iconic Karate Kid series, steps into Jaime Reyes' shoes with finesse and gusto, promising an unforgettable portrayal that is bound to leave an indelible mark. As Xolo Maridueña brings his charisma and skill to the realm of superheroes, we're poised to witness the birth of a new legend in the making. And as he dons the mantle of the Blue Beetle in a performance that promises to resonate far and wide, if you watched the film by now, you know that this guy definitely delivers.
Going to change the world with the power of the Scarab. It belongs to me.
Victoria Cord. Within the film's narrative, Victoria Cord is the supreme mastermind behind the scenes and takes center stage as the hero's primary adversary. In the comic version, Victoria Cord assumes a notable role as the sibling of the second Blue Beetle, Ted Cord, adding familial ties to the dramatic conflict. But the movie adds more gravitas to her character. This woman hated her brother all her life because she was the one who helped her father build Cord Industries and make it one of the most influential arms-dealing companies around the globe. But when the time came, her father named her brother Ted Cord the CEO of the company, who really had no interest in the company until he gained the Blue Beetle mantle and, according to her, turned the company around right to the ground. Now, this woman was super evil. For 15 years, she had been looking for the Scarab just so she could duplicate its extraterrestrial code and create an invincible army at her command. Under her dominion, Cord Industries became one of the world's most influential weapons manufacturer, and after she got her hands on the Scarab, Victoria introduced the OMAC tech, or the One-Man Army Corps, that would duplicate the Scarab code into a human body and fuse to become a one-man sentient with the capacity to end any possible war on the face of the earth. But when Jaime Reyes became the Blue Beetle, it thwarted all her plans. Luckily, Jaime spoke out some sense into Carapax after their final fight, who realized how Victoria ruined his entire life. So as a payback, he cranked up his suit to explosive levels and then dragged her along to her collective demise, blowing up her clandestine base operations. Translating this captivating character to the silver screen, the esteemed Susan Sarandon assumes the mantle of Victoria Cord in the DC movie. Susan Sarandon's talents have earned her the highest accolades in acting, including an Academy Award for Best Actress for her role as Sister Helen Prejean in Dead Man Walking. As she stepped into the shoes of the powerful Victoria Cord, audiences can expect a riveting portrayal that adds depth and complexity to Blue Beetle's journey.
Guard that with your life, but do not open it.
Jennifer Cord. Jenny Cord is introduced as a pivotal character in the Blue Beetle saga who acts as a key to unravel all the mysteries of the past, unifying Kajida with Jaime and guided him on his journey as the Blue Beetle. As the daughter of the previous Blue Beetle, Ted Cord, Jenny brings invaluable insights into the intricate history and essence of the Blue Beetle. She lost her mother when she was just 6 years old and saw her father get consumed by his grief, vanishing for days in his missions until one day he never returned. When she tried to stop Victoria from using the Scarab in her nefarious plans, she threatened Jenny and called her nothing but an expense account for Cord Industries. So naturally, to protect her father's legacy, Jenny stole the Scarab and gave it to Jaime, who became the Blue Beetle. Jenny also played a major role in rescuing Jaime from Victoria's clutches and, of course, introduced the Reyes family to some kick-ass gadgets and weapons made by her father to manifest his version of the Blue Beetle. Jenny was also involved in breaking the phone that contained the Scarab's code that would help Victoria in duplicating 1,000 such Blue Beetles and Carapaxes. Right after Victoria met her demise, as the film concluded, Jenny was declared the CEO of Cord Industries and swore to make it her mission to carry her father's legacy forward, which meant helping the community instead of making weapons that led to thousands of deaths. And on another important note, Jenny shared a kiss with Jaime at the end of the movie, thus declaring her as his romantic interest within the film. This significant role was played by Brazilian actress Bruna Marquezine. Her role as Jenny Cord adds yet another layer to her impressive repertoire, showcasing her ability to seamlessly transition between various mediums. In a role that demands depth and understanding, Marquezine's portrayal promises to infuse the character with both substance and authenticity. Ignacio Carapax. Within the annals of DC Comics, Conrad Carapax first emerged as Carapax, the Indestructible Man, a villain clad in impenetrable armor who clashed with the inaugural Blue Beetle, Daniel Garrett. Although his character was barely seen through the pages, this guy has been around since the mid-80s and was actually introduced as an archaeologist who got his brainwaves transferred into an armored robot to become the mighty Carapax, who fought all three versions of Blue Beetles. Anyways, we encounter Conrad Carapax, aptly introduced as Ignacio Carapax, a character far removed from his comic book counterpart. Within the film, Carapax, portrayed by Raul Max Trujillo, emerges as a complex antagonist with a cybernetically enhanced arm and leg. Working in the shadow of Victoria Cord, Carapax serves as her devoted right-hand enforcer, tasked with retrieving the Scarab and becoming the first prototype of the OMAC, aka the One-Man Army Corps. Under Victoria's sway, Cord Industries evolved into a global weapons powerhouse, culminating in the creation of the OMAC tech, capable of merging the Scarab's code with a a human body to create a sentient super soldier. Carapax himself bears the scars of conflict, having lost limbs in battle before Victoria rebuilt him into a formidable force. When Jenny and Jaime steal the artifact, it thrusts them into the crosshairs of Cord Industries, drawing the attention of Victoria Cord and Carapax. The film's climax unfurls in a battle of ideologies and power struggles. Jaime's family and Jenny rally to rescue him from the clutches of Victoria and Carapax, who scheme to reclaim the Scarab's code. With a remarkable symbiotic merge, Jaime fully embodies his role as Blue Beetle, while Carapax's sad past is unveiled. Childhood trauma and manipulation by Victoria paint a tragic picture of his path to villainy. He never chose to be who he was. Instead, Victoria bombed his house, killing his mom as a child, wiped his memories, and turned him into Lieutenant Carapax, the merciless killer who was a weird fusion of man and machine. As Jaime and Carapax face off, a surprising twist ensues. Beneath the layers of vengeance lies Carapax's desire for freedom and justice, revealing his intricate backstory. Ultimately, a fiery confrontation ensues, with Carapax sacrificing himself to obliterate both Victoria and her malevolent operations, leaving a lasting impact on this storyline. Raul Max Trujillo's portrayal of Carapax adds depth and gravitas, transforming him into a complex antagonist. The interplay of man and machine, coupled with Carapax's personal struggle, delivers a riveting clash between hero and villain that resonates throughout the film. Uncle Rudy Reyes. Brought to life by comedian George Lopez, Uncle Rudy is actually introduced as a character who was a little loco in his head, but eventually we see him really come through for Jaime while he was struggling with his new powers. Rudy lived with Jaime's family in Edge Keys and shared a really intimate relationship with his truck, who he had named Taco. Initially, we all thought Uncle Rudy was only an instrument of comic relief within the movie, solely obsessing about his truck and cursing Jenny to bring trouble into their already troubled family, but Rudy filled his shoes after Jaime lost his father, the most supporting figure in his life. When Jaime felt the despair of being stuck with powers he did not want, Uncle Rudy told him that people needed an honest hero and Jaime could be the one for them. Most importantly, the Reyes family had struggled all their lives and were at the risk of being deported, so even if things looked grim, they considered Jaime's transformation a blessing in disguise. Rudy was a key element in finding out about Ted Kord and Dan Garrett. In a scene about explaining Jaime on Ted Kord's powers as the Blue Beetle, Rudy calls Batman a fascist, which is a bit funny even though it probably will piss off a lot of fans. Anyways, Rudy helps Jenny in taking control of Bug Ship and commandeers it by himself. He bravely does everything in his capacity to support his nephew and tries his best to fill in his brother's gap in Jaime's life.
Bust it down, bust it down. Nana.
I advise we back away.
Nana Reyes. Nana's name was not mentioned throughout the film, but she was established as one badass abuela by the film's end. Played by Adriana Barraza, we see Nana as a loving and wholesome matriarch of the Reyes household, boosting up the family's morale during their financial pothole. But her character does a full 360 turn after the passing of her son Alberto in a heart attack induced by the barging in of Victoria's armed forces. She forbids the family to shed even a single tear or wallow, instead powers them up to fight back until they get their mijo back. When Jenny introduces the family to her father's artillery, Nana picks up the most lethal machine gun, takes down her braids with utmost pizzazz, and leads the way, leaving everyone around her with their jaws on the floor. She even shoots Victoria's goons with style, taking down multiple men and leaving even Jaime dumbstruck. Upon being asked, a crazed up Nana talks about her younger days and of revolutionary, and a glimpse of which we would definitely love to see if the movie comes up with a sequel. Milagro Reyes. Jaime's little sister Millie is one of his major confidants in the movie. She gets Jaime a job at Victoria Courts when he wants to help the family out with their finances. Most importantly, she always motivated him to do better and had her own sweet fun teasing the living hell out of him about his bond with Jenny Cord. When the family went to Pago Island to rescue Jaime, Milagro bravely fought her armed forces using one of Ted Kord's multifunctional devices, which acted as a bulletproof shield while throwing killer punches. In the movie, Millie is played by Belisa Escobedo, who very candidly plays her as a fun character on screen. Rocio Reyes. Elpidia Carrillo stars as Rocio Reyes in the Blue Beetle film. As Jaime's mother, Rocio tries her best to shield her son from the bad, be it from news of them being on the verge of losing their home or that his father had suffered a heart attack while he was away at college. When Jaime was being taken over by the Scarab, she went batshit crazy alongside the rest of the family, but when Jaime was abducted by Carapax and Victoria, Rocio Reyes went into a full-on power mom mode. When Jaime was having difficulty syncing with Kajita after their symbiotic merge, leading the Scarab to go into a prolonged reboot mode, Rocio talked both of them up, asking to fuel their pain and rage into power so they collectively rain hell down on Victoria Cord and Carapax. Overall, a pretty heartwarming character if you ask me. Alberto Reyes. Played by Damon Alcazar, Alberto is the strongest pillar of strength in Jaime's life. As the film begins, we get to know that the Reyes family is on the verge of losing their home, alongside Alberto having a severe heart condition, costing the family their auto repair shop when he had a heart attack. But even in the face of adversity, Jaime's father stood as a pillar of light and hope, allowing his family to find respite in him. When Victoria stormed down to Reyes' house to draw Jaime closer, it sent the entire family in a spiraling panic. Amidst the altercation, their house caught on fire, and while Jaime tried his best to hold down Cord's forces, his father had an unforeseen heart attack induced by the highly pensive situation, which led Jaime to distract himself from the fight, allowing Cord to abduct him. While he was on the Pago Island, stuck within a machine that helped duplicate the Scarab's code, his body was overstimulated, almost edging towards his demise. While unconscious, Jaime met his father in the land in between, in a room full of candles around him, as the Spanish tradition for the dead dictates, before Alberto found peace and encouraged Jaime to stop fighting his destiny and embrace Kajita to unlock his full potential. He told Jaime that sending Jaime to his right path was Alberto's true destiny, and the reason he died was because he was a part of something that is magnificent. Alberto found peace after knowing that his son chose the right path, thus playing a huge role in Jaime reaching his full potential as the Blue Beetle in the movie. Dr. Sanchez. Rounding up the main cast with Dr. Sanchez, at least that is what Victoria called him, until we get to know that his real name is actually Jose Francisco Morales Rivera de la Cruz. Anyways, this guy was a meeky scientist portrayed by Harvey Gillen, who helped Victoria dig out the Scarab and duplicate its code into Carapax and Pago Islands. Sanchez was in charge of looking after the Scarab until Jenny came in and stole it. Throughout the movie, he tries to correct Victoria for saying out the wrong name, but she does not care until Sanchez does not pay heed to Victoria's order and, instead of killing him, releases Jaime from their captivity, allowing him some time to escape. Unfortunately, he meets a pretty brutal demise at the hands of Carapax, who secured Sanchez as his first kill after duplicating the Scarab's power into his system. Marvel's verdict. There's barely any Latino representation across the DC universe, but Blue Beetle does everything right with its impeccable cast and beautiful portrayal of the Reyes family as a tightly knit household who ride and die together and boost each other up with the love they share for one another. The entire movie portrays family as the backbone of Blue Beetle's base as a superhero. If it were not for his family, Jaime would never have reached his initiation as one of the world's strongest heroes. It is astonishing to see how every family member comes to the aid of one another and reserves their tears to mourn the loss of Alberto until they get Jaime back from Victoria Cord's clutches. But what was bittersweet, heart-wrenching, and incredibly powerful to see is how the family held each other and mourned their loss together in front of their burnt-down home after they put everything behind them. Anyways, if you watch the film, you will understand exactly what I'm talking about. Now that we've come to the end of this video, who is your favorite Reyes in the family? Let us know in the comment box below. If you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks, everyone.